Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continually teach us this truth. And peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring in his word and truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this could be an edifying lesson. And as you see, I have an article pulled up. When I saw this article, it made me think about Second Esdras, the 16th chapter, which I'm gonna get into that. I quoted it at camp yesterday, but you know, it would fit this because as you see, it says military draft coming with a question mark, and then it says House passes measure to automatically register men for selective service. Now we're going to read a good bit of this article and then we're going to get some scriptures, because through the Spirit, the men of the Lord have always spoke about a draft, because we know that there is going to be a third war. All right. And we're at a point now because Saudi Arabia is not looking to do another deal with the U.S. to where you can only get their oil purchased in U.S. dollars. Now they're letting these other nations, buy it in their currency. So the U.S. is losing its dominance on the earth. So the only option now is war. All right? Because the U.S. is being put in a strait right now. All right, you're losing power. You're losing what's the word? Damn. Pretty much, you losing the grip. All right, you losing your grip of power on the earth. All right, over all these other nations. But anyway, reading this article, it says the House of Representatives on Friday approved its version of the annual defense policy bill, effectively clearing the $883.7 billion National Defense Authorization Act to move forward in a 217-199 vote, which largely fell along party lines. Only 3 Republicans opposed it, and it says a number of controversial amendments are part of it, setting up a further fight with Democrats as it moves forward, including a measure empowering the National Guard to crack down on the southern border. But among the most interesting aspects to the bill for fiscal year 2025 is an amendment to the NDAA, which automatically registers all draft age male U.S. residents with the selective service system. So it automatically registers all draft age males in the U.S., man. Okay? So you don't have an option. And you Jakes, you people in America, you Babylonians, mainly you Jakes, you got no idea that this just passed. That they can come grab your ass out your house if you're between the ages 18 and 26, which of course we know they're gonna change that. All right, but as of right now, if you're between those ages, they can legally grab you and throw you in the war. It says this means that all able-bodied males in the country aged 18 through 26 could potentially be drafted in the scenario of a future war declaration by Congress. The selection would be based on information from federal databases. While there has been a selective service program in effect for decades, it has long previously only been voluntary. It says, but this new amendment will make registration automatic. The merely voluntary system had been in effect since 1980, but critics have said that leaving it up for young men to decide for themselves whether to register has resulted in a weak and ineffective system with not enough numbers. You see, they haven't been reaching their quotas, man. Because, I forget the saying, the brother Dawud mentioned it at camp. I remember Apostle Tard, you was doing videos on it, but it's something along the lines of, hard times create strong men. Good times create bad times, and good times create weak men. Something like that. I don't know it, by heart, but yeah. So they haven't been reaching their numbers because Jake don't. These average day Babylonians ain't thinking about war. They ain't thinking about joining the military. We're in a society where you got men saying they women and women saying they men. Everybody want to change their identity, man. We're in a society that's clearly on the decline, man. Everything is sexual. Everything these women do, it gotta be sexual. It gotta be showing cleavage. This is a degenerate society, so of course nobody is thinking about joining the military. All right, but I want to get this point right here. It says representative. Hold on. Rep Houlihan had been one of the leading advocates of proposals in previous years to expand draft registration to women as well as men. Her latest proposal for automatic registration of men only for a military draft indicates that she is more deeply committed to militarization than to any purported feminism. You see? So her latest for only for men. See, why is she putting it for men only? If she talking about putting it for women. So you women, man, it's y'all say it to make it look good and sound good, but then when the situation happens, no, send them in. Now see, when war is declared and war happens, we're gonna see a lot of women that's gonna try to lead a military. You're gonna have a lot of women that's gonna want to be women. They gonna want to be barefoot and pregnant then, but nope, no, y'all bitches go to war, man. Y'all got all this energy on the internet talking shit. You women that like to fight men, take your ass on the front lines. All right, and you do got a lot of women in the military, man, that they go easy on. All right, that they pretty much got it easy. And best believe they gonna be trying to find a way out. All right. See, it's not fair that they doing this for just men right now. It should be women too, which it will be, but this is big nonetheless. It says, while for the first time since 1972, the NDAA bill passed today by the House will automatically register all males aged 18 to 26 for selective service in the military. You see? It says for the past 52 years, males were required to register on their own, but compliance had reportedly been lagging. So war is coming, man. All right, and that's why they're passing these laws. So when you go to 2nd Esdras 16, okay, 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. You see? So most of these men are going to get drafted to the war, or they're going to die during civil unrest. So it's going to be a shortage of men out here. All right, and that's one of the reasons why Isaiah 4:1 gonna come to pass, but it's not gonna be 7 women taking hold of just one everyday regular man that's out here. It's gonna be the men of the Lord. Because they're gonna see the men of the Lord are not scared, they're not afraid, they're not bugging out, they're not starving, they're not in the condition that everybody else is in. All right, because the Lord is gonna have divine intervention around his servants, the prophets. Okay, divine protection, a covering, so to say. Okay, so it's reading it again, in the war shall the bridegrooms be destroyed, because you see we got this draft that's mandatory. So you're gonna have a lot of men once again that's gonna die in either civil war or in this third war. Because if you go to this war over there, where it's gonna take place over there in Saudi Arabia and all that region, man, where this third war gonna really take place, where the Lord is gonna gather all these nations. Okay, if you go over there, you ain't coming back for 2 reasons. For one, there ain't gonna be an America to come back to. America is gonna get nuclear destroyed off the map, man. Off the fucking map. It's gonna be the biggest desert on the planet. Okay? So that's reason number one. And reason number two, you're gonna die over there if you go over there. Alright? So you women, you ain't gonna have any helpers. You ain't gonna have nobody to protect you. That's why when you go to Isaiah the 3rd chapter, it speaks about, let's get it. Isaiah chapter 3 verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. And her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So you're going to have a lot of these men that's going to die in this up and coming war, man. And you women, you're going to be through. You're going to be fucking through, man. See, this age of men, of women all over the internet talking about they don't need a man and talking shit about men and going on these podcasts, disrespecting men, and all this shit you women do, it's getting ready to come to an end, man. It's getting ready to come to an end. All right? But I just want to do that quick update. Lord willing, this was edifying. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.